Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Hell yeah. I am the Endless. Did I say the Endless Honeymoon Podcast or did I just say the Endless Podcast?
You said the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. That's the name of our podcast.
Oh, right. I just thought. Anyway, how are you?
It's too hard for me.
What is?
When I'm on camera, it's hard for me to be positive.
Really?
Yeah.
It is true that you walk around and everything seems fine. Everything seems fine. And then we come down here and I'm like, what's up, Tosh? And you go, the world. What is it, you think?
I don't know. I think that I'm just trying to keep everything feeling normal for my child and my family.
But for the fans, you want to bring it down a pretty hard degree to a gray fog of misery. That makes sense. That makes sense.
I mean, we're all... what do you want?
Nothing. I want you to just be you. I want to call our guest.
That's one thing that's been fun is calling friends.
Yes, staying in touch with friends.
I think that's really important. Just call them. Everyone's crazy. Everyone feels weird. Call an old friend. Don't even text him and say, is it okay if I call?
Oh, really?
I don't know. Just
bold
call
advice.
people.
Call people.
Everyone's home.
Wait, what is more... Actually, I think it's more offensive.
They can always not pick up.
I think it's more offensive to call someone at this point than it is to FaceTime them. I think FaceTiming, there's a context of we're in COVID, I FaceTime now. Calling is like, what are you doing? What are you doing here?
I think it's okay.
Okay, call your friends. Well, shall we call a friend?
Yeah, let's call a friend.
We have a friend who we are very excited to bring on our podcast, and perhaps the delightfulness of our friend will pop you out of your sigh, and we will have some fun. He is a fun guy. He's been on all kinds of stuff. One of the greats, right?
Burning Love.
Medical Police.
Transparent.
That movie where he was in Hawaii with George Clooney.
Children's Hospital.
The movie, he had a Hawaiian shirt on and Clooney was there and he was in that movie. One of the greatest improvisers in America.
He might be one of my favorite comedic actors.
He's just the coolest. Let's call
Rob Huebel.
Hello.
Robert Huebel.
Hi, Rob.
Yes, is this a robocall?
Yeah. I don't speak Mandarin very well, but usually the Chinese starts right. No, I got some good news, dude.
What is it?
Well, it's actually we are randomly selecting social security numbers, and we're going to send you $5,000 in Bitcoin.
Moshe.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yes.
This is the best news.
I feel like Moshe bought $5,000 in Bitcoin.
I did actually buy literally exactly $5,000.
And lost $5,000 in Bitcoin.
Did you invest in Bitcoin?
Wait, I don't. No, but I'm about to. How does it? I don't understand how. How does it work? Explain it to me. How did you invest in it?
Well, it's like anything else. You buy. It's like you buy futures in a currency. You could invest in the pound, right? If you bought $5,000 worth of British pounds, hoping that their economy would go up, and it did, then you would have $10,000 or whatever. So that's basically what happened.
But how did you lose money?
Well, there was a time about a year and a half, 2 years ago, where every white hipster in the Los Angeles area started freaking out about how accelerant the Bitcoin currency was, and so everybody started investing in it. Do you remember this?
Yeah, don't talk down to me, of course.
Well, I'm the idiot because everybody it went up like 9,000%, and then it crashed hard. And I've just been waiting for it to get back up to $5,000 for 2 years so that I can just get my money back.
I have a question. Is the whole podcast going to be about Bitcoin?
Well, no, that's crazy. We talk about other cryptocurrencies. There's a lot of really good ones. Elysium.
Because the name of the podcast, I heard you guys might change the name to Bitcoin.
And it's Endless Bitcoin. That's what it is.
Rob, how's your COVID? How high does one have to get every day to feel not like they're losing their mind?
I should not say this probably, but I did an experiment today, speaking of getting high, and it kind of backfired on me. Like, it was my wife and I kind of like switch off, like watching our daughter, and I thought that I was in the clear for like several hours. So I ate like a gummy, and thought like, oh, this will be great. I'll go for a bike ride. And I was having a great time. But, you just can't control that stuff. And it kicked in like later. And then it was like my turn again. And I was like, oh, no. So I was like way not, and I we didn't have to go anywhere or do anything. It was just like hanging out with my 3-year-old though.
Oh, I saw you. I saw you today. You were on the tandem bicycle with no helmets, right?
Yeah, we were on the tandem bicycle. We were being chased by a bunch of dogs.
Yeah, I remember that. That was cool.
It didn't help?
Pants for her. Well, I made pants for her out of bologna. I made bologna pants. And then we went for a tandem bike ride, and all these dogs started chasing us.
You went looking for a coyote den in a local coyote den. Coyotes love bologna.
No, I kept making mistakes though that only I would notice. You know what I mean? Like, she had no idea. She's just thinking that like, oh, this is fun. But like I took her out in her stroller, and the sun was going down, and it was kind of beautiful. And then we passed like these bushes. And I was like, oh, there's a beautiful flower. Let's stop and smell this flower. And so I kind of pushed her, like, stroller into this flower. And then I got very close to it and I realized it was just an old napkin. and she was like, this is not a flower. And I was like, oh, okay, let's keep going. Come on. You're slowing us down.
Oh, that's really amazing.
Like that.
So was she like, Daddy, did you take a gummy?
Sorry, I lost you on that one. What did you say?
She looked up at you. She's like, Dad, did you take a gummy? That's not a flower.
Yeah.
Poor Moshe, all he gets is Nicorette. So our daughter's always like, Daddy, you like gum, right? You want some gum?
She'll come into my office. I'm in a writer's room, like on Zoom now, and she'll come into my office naked with a sheet of Nicorette and be like, Daddy, your gum. It's just like, it's so bad.
It's kind of sad. But
yeah, it's sad. Hey, do you think we're in trouble, Rob? We live next door to like a den of 20-year-old TikTok influencers, and they're having a huge party / maybe video shoot right now.
Moshe's like, it sounds like midsummer over there.
Yeah, like all day they've been like chanting and screaming, and it's just like
there's like gaffers and like a masked crew.
There's
and
definitely
huge lights.
Yeah, like there's definitely a lot of activity going on. Like from the hole that I drilled in my office upstairs that allows me access to look into their yard or into their bedroom. I was seeing a lot of activity. Do you think 20-year-olds just don't care about COVID, basically, because they're not going to die and they know it?
Yes, I think so. I think we've gone from like whatever the greatest generation was, like people that fought in like World War II, and where people were like really like all pulling together to like beat the Nazis, and now it's just like, yeah, we'll just kill those people. It's fine. We'll just kill them all off. It's totally fine.
I kind of empathize with them though. Like it's not like the generation that's at risk for this virus is like particularly a sympathetic group to these 20-year-olds. They're like disenfranchising them from voting. They're setting up a world where the ice caps are melting and they're going to have to swim through meltwater to get to the grocery store when they get to be 60. Like maybe they're just like, you know what? We'll avoid our grandparents because we love them, but we can't really be that plussed about a disease that fucks people up.
It's so hardcore. Like, I don't know that they're giving it that much thought. Like, is the thing going on next to your house, is it indoors at least? Or, I mean, is it outdoors at least, or it's indoors?
Seems like it's kind of like everywhere.
Yeah, it feels like, I would call it like do you ever see the movie House Party starring Kid and Play?
I've seen all of them.
Yeah, sure. It's got a vibe of that.
No, but my cousin in Illinois just told me she went to a baby shower this weekend and someone had it. So now everyone at the baby shower had to get tested. And I asked her, I was like, did people wear masks at the baby shower? And she's like, no. And we were hugging. It was outside, but everyone was hugging. And I just think that people, who aren't like critical thinkers and like cynical, who don't like study the news, are just like, oh, if it's legal, then let's like not wear a mask now. And
yeah, for sure. I mean, also, like, you have to think that most people, certainly of a certain age, just don't watch the news, so it doesn't seem, and if there's not like clear messaging, then it's just completely gobbledygook, and everything gets all, so I can see how that would totally happen, and I'm not defending those people. I think they're fucking idiots.
But Rob, let me ask you, how are we supposed to take care of our kids, worry about our careers, also decipher the news and not like freak out, like I and like still hold it together? Like, do you feel,
how are you holding it together?
Like would you have any tips?
Well, I think that we have like retreated into like our own tiny little world now, where like we know what we have to do, and so now we're just like hunkered down, and like we have our own little domestic weird situations. Like we have these neighbors who have become obsessed with us, like my wife and I, and they're trying to play it off because they have a daughter that's my daughter's age, so they bring their daughter, but clearly like they're like trying to like spend a lot of time with us and like texting us, and like I don't fucking know them, but like they'll make cookies and like have their daughter come, and they'll act like it's their daughter giving them to us, but then they look at us like, look what we made you, like I don't know. So we're just dealing with our own domestic weirdness, like all sorts of like, and like, don't you guys have like weird shit going on in your neighborhood?
No, our neighbors don't want to fuck us. No, our neighbors aren't trying to seduce us. No, actually,
people are definitely. And listen, I would be open to, we've talked about like, maybe we invite them into our marriage for a week, you see how it goes.
You pod your marriage. You don't just do a pod for the kids.
I mean, it sounds perfect. Kids the same age.
Actually, Rob, the truth is we do have, our next door neighbors are awesome, and they did come over and ask us if we wanted to do karaoke, and they set up a karaoke thing in the street.
This is not the TikTokers.
No, not our 20-year-old. No, but actually, the 20-year-old and I have like a DM correspondence going on, but that's totally separate and not something I really want to talk about on the podcast.
You wish.
But no, our regular age neighbors, they set up a karaoke thing, and we sang karaoke with wireless mics from across the street, and then of course,
oh my god,
it was really fun and sweet, and wouldn't you know, some fucking dweeb dipshit in the house, like in one of the apartment buildings, so you don't know who it is. It's not like it's unclear. Well, we don't know where it is, but on next door started complaining like, I'm trying to eat my dinner. Can't you do karaoke indoors? It's like, first of all, there's there's a pandemic. That's why these societal norms are breaking down, and we stopped. He kind of ruined it.
That's so lame, because like that reminded me of all those. Remember at the very beginning how there are all those like adorable videos coming out of like Italy and stuff where people were like playing tennis across the apartment, on the balconies or whatever, and like flying drones over to like meet this girl, and then she flew her drone, there are all these like beautiful little things, and all that went out the window after about like 2 months.
Totally.
And then you guys, I feel like you guys were bringing it back, and then some fucking weirdo had to ruin it.
Yeah, don't you feel like at the beginning it was like all the people in your life that you loved and cared about were like FaceTiming you and doing like Zooms and just like checking in, how you doing? And then at about the 3-month mark, people are like, you know what? Fuck off. We don't need any help. We're just going to shut everything down.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think that is one of the most fascinating things about all of this is that 180 of that beautiful, like, sort of, warm touch of humanity where, like, everyone was like, hey, we're all in this together. Remember how, like, they made that Imagine video? And yes, it
Rob,
was like...
no, don't. Please don't. I care too much about your reputation to hear you say that was cool. I can't have you do that.
It wasn't cool. It definitely was not cool. It was not cool, but it didn't deserve to be like, oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
Well, we are living in the most cynical time in history, right? I mean, it's
yeah, but like if they made the Imagine video right now, I think people would be like, you know what? It's pretty good. Like maybe, yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'll sign on.
You would do it? Would you have done it, Rob? We've asked people on this podcast before. Okay, you're the last person to get asked, right? Do you have the presence of mind to smell it and go, ooh, this is going to be, ooh, I got a bad feeling about this? Or are you so blown away by the list of people that has agreed to do it that you're like, yeah, I will?
You know what? I would, the latter. I definitely would have said, who else is doing it? And
Me
then when
too,
they
Rob.
said, like, yes, of course. If they said, oh, it's like all these other people, I'd be like, oh, and you're asking me? Yes, I'm totally in.
And the guilt if you would say no, because it's like coronavirus, you want to do something to help.
Wonder Woman's on that? Saying Wonder Woman? Shit, I'll do it.
They got Wonder Woman in that? Yeah, I would luckily, I think I would be the one that they would have trimmed out of it. They would have been like, you know what, I don't think we need Rob Huebel in this. Let's just lose him for time. And it like probably would have saved me.
I mean, the reason people freaked out so hard about that was I think it was just like, it felt like a bunch of Hollywood phonies who were tired of not mattering because they shut down production. And then they were like, well, maybe we could matter if we kind of jump into the social thing. But it was the most milquetoast version of it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, where
except
do you stand
Sarah Silverman.
on the...
Except Sarah Silverman. She's legitimate and good.
Well, yeah, they're all nice people.
I know,
but they.
I just happen to have only one actual friend in the video. So
where do you stand on the I take responsibility one?
No.
Would you have done that one?
Of course not. No. I mean,
what if they sweeten the pot and they said, Moshe, for your shot, we're gonna dolly in super slow. We're gonna do a slow push in on you.
You would have done it, Moshe.
Oh, you're saying so that the actual cinematography of it makes it seem like they're very happy to have me, like I'm a big bonus to the video.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, they were gonna send like a masked crew over to like light it and lay some dolly track and make it look really dramatic.
What's funny about that is I would be by far the least famous person in the entire video. So if there was a like extremely dramatic slow zoom on me, it would actually be kind of a funny moment. You're like, why him? Why did he get the hero shot? I don't understand.
I'd be like, well, he paid for his own crew to come over and lay down the track.
I could get a crew. There's a crew literally working next door right now catching COVID-19.
Oh my God.
Well, Rob.
Yeah, but that it is fascinating to me how quickly everyone dropped all of those like nice, beautiful things. And like, you know, I don't think that, do they still do the singing in New York at 7:00 or the banging of pots and pans?
Oh, well,
like
so we used to do it every night at 8 p.m. and it made me really happy just to have that, like, and I would do a primal scream and I started really kind of needing that. And
somebody on Nextdoor complained about her scream as well. Just not even a joke.
But also just having the drums, we've got kids instruments, so just kind of really going for it. But then when Black Lives Matter happened, we kind of didn't really want to cheer for the police.
Right, the essential workers chant. You had to kind of
the essential workers.
You had to like scream and then go asterisk.
Yeah.
And now we kind of don't do it, and I hate it.
The neighborhood didn't really bounce back from it, but there is still one very optimistic man with like a Matterhorn in our neighborhood who just blows it by himself now.
But just because the neighborhood didn't bounce back doesn't mean we can't. Like, I think I need some sort of like regularity in my days.
But you know,
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Have you guys, this is a little bit of a left turn, but have you guys had any sort of, I don't know how closely you pay attention to your own personal hygiene. Like I had a bit of a scare today where I looked in the mirror, or I was driving and something kept bothering me, and I got home and I looked in the mirror and I had like, I'm not exaggerating, like a 2.5-inch eyebrow hair. Like it was just like a long eyebrow hair. And I was mad at myself, but I was also mad at my wife for like not mentioning that, or not, like why wouldn't you, we need to all be looking out for each other. And I don't know if you guys have dealt with any sort of personal hygiene things like that.
For sure. No, I mean, when we stopped wearing full outfits every day, I think everything started to fall apart. But I did have a very similar situation recently, but it was worse, Rob, because I'm working in a writer's room on Zoom right now, and I have one chest hair that's at the very top. It's like a collarbone hair that always grows out like a wizened, sort of like a lucky Chinese wisdom hair. But and about once a quarter, it kind of reaches my chin, and I realize that it's there, and I have to pluck it. But I was on the Zoom, and I was absentmindedly like noticed it and was like wrapping my finger around it to like yank it out of my chest, and then I realized there was like 10 millennials looking at me on a Zoom writer's room. And I was like, so no, yeah, everything's bad. I don't shower.
There must be a lot of that, like people now not giving a fuck on Zoom and not realizing, oh, I just totally picked my nose or did, something, just because like at the beginning you were very aware of what you were doing on Zoom, and now it's just like, oh, I don't care. I'm going to go and sit down on the toilet while I'm Zooming with these people.
There's a lot of lying down going on, which is pretty wild.
Oh,
like
really?
At work, I'll look on people's camera in their house, and they'll be lying down. I'm like, God, that's kind of cool. There was another one of the writers in the room. This was very funny. We looked, and she had like a really nice background. It looked like a Sephora, like a booth at a convention. And we're like, where did that come from? Why are you all of a sudden looking like you're in a photo shoot background? And she folded the photo shoot background down, and it was her apartment, and it was like the messiest. It was like a junkyard, and she's like, "This is what I'm hiding from everybody." So you can create these kind of fake realities too, where you just kind of look all buttoned up.
That is so great! Wow, I'm fascinated by that, because like you see all these dum-dums on, cable news shows and stuff, and I feel like no one's quite cracked how to make their house look nice. So the fake background, that sounds really appetizing.
Yeah, just get a big piece of cardboard, below.
Yeah, I've become obsessed with what people are reading, because everyone thinks they're so smart to put themselves in front of like a big stack of books, and then the whole interview, with like Dr. Whoever on CNN, I'm just looking for like some sort of trashy book in the background, or something, some sort of weird, stack of like, Hustler magazine from this, the 80s or something. I don't know.
Wait, the news has people at their houses?
Everybody's on Zoom now.
I should watch more TV, because that sounds fascinating. Just to
be able to see into Anderson Cooper's fuck lair.
Yeah, you would love it, Natasha. It's so interesting because like you'll see like Congress people, talking on the news from their house, and you're like, oh, this guy doesn't make any money as a congressman. like he's got a futon. You can see he's got like a futon, and like one of those torch lamps from Pier 1 that everyone had. They're just like really bad like interior design choices. It's fascinating.
All right. Well, speaking of things that we have all read, let's all do one book that we've read during quarantine, and then we'll take a couple calls. Natasha,
God.
you want to go first? Didn't you just finish a book you really liked?
Well, yes, but I think I already talked about it.
What did you tell? Natasha came and she had a big announcement. She's like, I have discovered the genre of book that I like.
I discovered the genre of book that I like, and it's cli-fi.
Cli-fi. Have you heard of this, Rob?
And it's like science fiction, but it's climate fiction. And it's basically like science fiction about, but like based in reality, about like when global warming happens. It's very bleak. But
This sounds so stressful.
I know. Maybe that's why I'm so stressed out. But I also feel like I want to like really study this from like every level and kind of go deep into what's the worst case scenario, because I don't really know how else to make good decisions for my family.
Well, one thing that will help you, and I'm not trying to plug someone else's Netflix show, but I think Zac Efron has a Netflix show where he takes off his shirt and goes to different locations around the world and talks to different climate scientists, and then also like parties and eats in good restaurants and stuff like that.
You know, you're the second person in 2 days to recommend that show, and I just, even if it would make me feel more hopeful, I just feel like I refuse to get my optimism widget from Zac Efron. I just feel like I can't do it.
Well,
I'd rather be depressed.
To be totally honest, I haven't seen the show. I've only watched the trailer. So why don't you just treat yourself to the trailer?
Okay.
And the other person that recommended the show had only seen the trailer.
Okay, well, it sounds like a banger of a trailer. What have I read? I have read, I started a book recently called The Over Story, which is, this is very much not about the destruction of the world, or maybe it is, because it won the Pulitzer Prize, and it's a book about, it's like 1,000-page book about trees. But I read the first story. It's like separated into stories. It sounds like the most boring book that's ever been written, which is why I didn't get to it for a long time. But the first story was a story about a chestnut tree in the middle of the country and the family that grew it and how it came to be, and it was really beautiful. It was breathtaking. The Over Story. Rob, what have you read?
That's really great. I read a book about the Disney princesses, and I don't know if you're familiar, but there are several different princesses in the Disney world, and they all have their own backstory, and a lot of it is very sexist and definitely underscores a lot of like gender stereotypes. So, you know, people say, oh, that sounds like something that you'd be reading to your daughter. And I do that. But then when I also read it for my own pleasure, you know, when I'm just like hanging out by myself, I'll just, you know, reach over and grab it because I like the sense of accomplishment that reading children's books gives me.
Because you can finish it.
Like, oh, I can crank through one and like, I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but like I can read a Disney, like a child's book in like under 10 minutes.
Wow.
Just like,
you know,
and so yeah, I've been reading tons of books about Disney princesses. And if you have any questions about any of the princesses, you can ask me because I'll be able to answer it.
Great. Cinderella. How did things work out for her?
It worked out great, but she had a fairy godmother that sort of like, it was really sort of handled through magic. Like that's the unfortunate thing about a lot of these stories is that in a lot of the stories, it's not the characters learning and growing themselves. It's fixed through magic. And I don't like that. So I did email the Disney Corporation and the theme and also the theme parks to complain, but I haven't heard back yet, so I don't know what the deal is.
I'll tell you,
the theme park's opening, so you could go there.
Yeah, you could just go and talk to Mickey in person. You know, lodge a complaint.
That's a good idea. I could just drive over there. It's not that far.
I will say this. I think that my daughter is maybe an ally in the fight against global systemic racism, though she only is 2, because she does not like Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, any of that. But she loves Coco and Moana. And I'm like, oh, shit, she's an activist.
That's great. That is great. You guys, I will say, you guys did me the biggest favor by turning me on to Coco. It is by far our daughter's favorite thing ever.
Oh,
I love
good. It's so good.
She loves it. Yeah, it's actually become a problem because...
Oh, because you're a hardcore Trumper, right? And you're upset about the themes.
I'm upset about it because we got to get Trump reelected.
Mm-hmm.
But do you guys do this? Do you do voices for your kid? Like, I made the mistake of doing the voice of Ernesto de la Cruz, like, you know, the main bad guy.
Yes, I have done that very voice.
Yeah, and so I talk like Ernesto de la Cruz, like all the time. And so my daughter is no longer interested in me. She always says, "Talk like Ernesto. Talk like Ernesto."
Oh,
and
yeah.
if I'm not talking like Ernesto, it's like
it's
it's
annoying.
like a problem.
It'll be a bigger
Yeah.
problem if you fuck around and talk like Ernesto de la Cruz in the wrong Los Angeles neighborhood and people think you're doing like a racist accent. So be careful.
Oh, absolutely.
Be careful.
Absolutely. I should probably, I should not be doing like, I mean, I try to not make it, controversial at all. But yes, good point.
I feel like you're good at that, Moshe. You're like, we're not doing that right now, because she'll be like, "Daddy, be a lion. Daddy, be Moses."
Yeah, she wants me to be Moses, which is more appropriate, though.
But it's always you screaming. That's what she wants.
Right.
And he doesn't want to always do it. So it's like.
I do Moses, though. I'll come in and I'll say, "Let my people go," like the classic kind of Moses voice. Well,
I love that you are working in Moses into the repertoire of children's characters.
well, because Passover was during the quarantine and because she's so young, we watched the Prince of Egypt, and she got really into Moses and his hat. And so sometimes I'll come in and I'll be wearing a towel like a pharaoh, and I'll scream, "Let my people go." I mean, she's so young. She just like doesn't understand that Moses didn't wear a pharaoh's hat. It's like, that's the pharaoh. That's not the protagonist. It's the antagonist. She's so dumb in some ways, but anyway, she's sweet and we love her. And what are you gonna do?
We gotta take some calls.
Okay, let's take some calls.
All right, let's take some calls.
Hi, Tosh.
Hi, Moshe.
Today, literally just before this podcast, I jumped out of the shower and our kid came into the bathroom and she handed me my Native deodorant. And I looked down and I thought to myself, sometimes people write me and they go, "Do you really like this product?" And I was thinking, as I was putting on Native deodorant today, I really like this product.
You love it.
This is a mega endorsement. It smells so good. It's natural. I like the way it feels. I like the way it smells. And I like that it doesn't have all kinds of funky shit in it.
They have over 10 scents, including rotating seasonals. Native has something for everyone. Their most popular classics are coconut and vanilla, lavender and rose, and Moshe's favorite, cucumber and mint.
The mojito!
Native is risk-free to try. Every product comes with free shipping within the U.S., plus free 30-day returns and exchanges. See why so many people, including Moshe and I, love Native, and check out their over 14,000 five-star reviews.
Do what I did. Make the switch to Native today by going to nativedeo.com/honeymoon and use promo code honeymoon at checkout. You'll get 20% off your first order. It smells so good. It feels so good, and you don't have to feel guilty about putting gross stuff on you. nativedeodorant.com. nativedeo.com/honeymoon. Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe.
How do you and I dress so cool?
We just have innate style.
Do most people?
No.
Wouldn't it be nice if there was a company that took somebody with innate style who would get clothing for you?
Ooh.
Yeah, well, there is. And it's called a Stitch Fix.
Stitch Fix is a personal styling company that brings you the world of fashion and style. It's a completely different and fun way to find clothes that you'll love. That's all about you every time.
I like this idea because, the problem with dressing well is that it's not what you wear, it's how you wear it. And so some people don't know how to wear stuff and they don't know what looks good on them. And Stitch Fix has taken away that issue because they'll do it for you. You just go to stitchfix.com, you set up your profile, and they will deliver great looks personalized for you in your colors, your styles, and your budget.
You pay a $20 styling fee for each fix, which is credited towards anything you keep. You can schedule at any time. There's no subscription required. Plus, shipping, returns, and exchanges are easy and free.
Stitch Fix does the hard work for you, making great style effortless for everybody. It's already effortless for your favorite podcast host, but you weren't born lucky like we were. You weren't born with that eye. But luckily for you, you got a discount coming your way, and it works for women, men, and kids.
Get started today at stitchfix.com/honeymoon, and you get 25% off when you keep everything in your fix.
That's stitchfix.com/honeymoon for 25% off when you keep everything in that fix.
stitchfix.com/honeymoon.
Okay, now we're going to call Deanna in Las Vegas.
Love Las Vegas. What a town.
It's fully open.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's fully open. Casinos are back.
Wow. They got up there with phase 1.
Yeah, if they were phase -1.
Hello?
Hey, Deanna.
Uh-huh.
Hey, it's Natasha Leggero and Moshe Kasher and our friend Rob Huebel.
Hi, how are you guys?
Oh, we're great.
Did we catch you at a bad time? You seem kind of curt.
What was that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
How's it going? Is this a good time to talk?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Are you in the casino?
Oh, no, but a lot of idiots are.
Well, what's that? That's nothing new. I mean, that didn't change just because I opened during quarantine.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people, I guess, can't wait because the habit is just too strong.
Hey, when you want to play Plinko, you can't wait.
I wonder if the recycled air helps, though.
It does not help. It does the opposite.
No, I
of
mean,
help.
like, you know how they, like, pump in
No,
oxygen?
the opposite. The opposite.
Oh.
Literally, there was an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease in the 60s, and it was traced back to casinos and their recycled airs. So, no, it doesn't help. Deanna, like Deanna Troy. Why?
Deanna, yeah.
Why'd you contact us?
So, I guess I wanted to have a conversation with my boyfriend, and I wanted to run the situation by you guys and see if maybe you guys had a good idea of how to start that conversation. So I've been dating my boyfriend for almost a year now, and we have not had sex. At first I was okay with it because I was okay with things going slow, just because of my past relationships being not so great. For the past year, we've gotten to know each other. He's a great guy. We have a lot of things in common, but as great as all those things are, and
you both love musical theater and pastels, or
yeah.
Is he a virgin?
Not having sex. I don't know.
You've never
you
asked
don't know.
Well, so he's been in past relationships before, right?
He's been in relationships.
He's talked about like having sex with other people, but it's like, I don't know. I don't want to be like, so are you lying? Because I mean, it's been a full year and we haven't we've done other stuff. We just haven't actually had sex. And now I feel like it's been like so long that I don't even know how to bring it up or how to like have that conversation because I know we have it, right? Because as great as all those things are, like I need to get paid. You know?
Is he Christian?
No.
He's not Christian.
No, I don't think it's a religious thing at all. Like, I don't know. I could tell that he gets like super nervous. You know, like when we are like messing around and stuff, and but it just never like leads to actually having sex.
Okay, I have a graphic question.
Okay.
I have several graphic questions.
Okay.
Do you have orgasms?
Yeah.
In what way are you asking that question?
Like, will he lick her pussy? I don't know. Like,
from him. Does he give you orgasms?
Yeah.
He just isn't into the penetration part of it.
Yeah. Like we just don't. Yeah, actually, like it doesn't stick it in.
And you've never like asked him before, like, oh, maybe it's time that we finally have sex?
No, because I don't even know how to like bring it up. So one time I got super drunk and I don't remember, but he said that I told him that I wanted him to come to my office and like fuck me right like after he picked me up from work. And so he's
like, I can pick you up, but that's about it.
Yeah, so
I'm happy to be a driver.
So he told me that, and then like I don't know, maybe a month later, we were actually gonna go to dinner, and he went to pick me up from work, and he came inside because I was like walking up and getting my shit, and I was like, well, this is like the perfect time. Like literally nobody's in the office. Like I told you what I wanted, and it just didn't happen. And I feel like we've gone on like vacations together, you know, because part of it, I was like, well, maybe it's because my roommate, you know, and we like share a wall, and he just, I don't know, like I try to rationalize and have made probably so many excuses for him. But I don't know. I just feel kind of stuck.
Rob.
Well, yeah,
Go.
Thank you. Do you, I mean, could it be like an STD thing, like a herpes thing? And he's like, you know, and like, or maybe he's like super in love with you and he's like, I don't want to, but here's what I'm eventually going to say is
it's
like,
either herpes or love, I guess is Rob's point.
which they're both pretty much the same thing.
It's so true.
But it also seems like just a real easy question to me. I'm not sure I understand your apprehension. Like if I were getting gone down on by someone and it was time to fuck, like it seems like an easy sort of segue to say, hey, let's fuck, you know, like I want to get fucked right now. And,
right.
And not in a way that would be off-putting to him, but like, you know, it would at least start the conversation, you know. And I guess I'm having a hard time understanding why you're having a hard time just asking that question.
Well, and the thing is, I think it's a couple of things. One, because I never thought I'd have to actually tell somebody, like, hey, like, let me have sex with me. And two, it's like,
pride.
I can tell that he gets, like, super nervous and, like, just, like, really awkward. And, like, I don't want to make it worse. And then, like, you know, put that pressure on him. Like, I don't want to make him feel uncomfortable, right? It's like, I'm trying to be, like, considerate about his feelings, but, like.
Okay,
yeah.
I have a few questions.
Okay.
This is really hard.
Yeah, well, I have how old is he and how old are you?
I'm 29, he's 30.
He's 30 years old. Okay, that's not what I wanted. I wanted him to be like 19. But okay.
I know.
When you guys are hooking up, like is this no judgment here, but like is it hot? Is he like really into it or is it like weird?
I mean, yeah. No, like it is. And the thing is like okay. So like he's told me things that like he's into, right? Like so like if he's choking and like hitting me and shit like that and like
wait,
What?
He's into choking and hitting? Is that what you said?
And like and that's like he's like it's like super like aggressive, right? But not like I'm scared for my life. Like
No, I'm not. No. Right? I get it. He's kinky, but that doesn't jibe with the whole I'm kinky,
I know,
but I'm nervous.
I know. And like we actually like you know, went away together before this whole COVID thing, and like I was putting his stuff away because I had we needed to get out of the room. We had woken up late, and then I put some of his stuff in his suitcase, and he had like brought like handcuffs and stuff with him, and like
Deanna, I'm scared now. He's a cop. I think cops have sex. I'm pretty sure. This is a real tangled web here.
I like what Rob said though. It's like communication, like, and maybe it's not in the moment if he's too nervous. Maybe it's out of the moment.
And that's the thing, like, I know that I need to communicate with him, right? And I know that I need to have that conversation, but I don't necessarily feel like in that moment is the best time because, like I said, I already feel like he's so like, I don't know.
I've known a couple in my life of long. Late virgins, and one thing I've noticed about the late virgin is that first they want to be a virgin for, you know, whatever reason they want to be a virgin for, but then they stay a virgin because they're afraid to lose their virginity. Like it becomes this bigger and bigger kind of like specter in their psychology that they are like, oh, I don't know how to lose my virginity. It stops even being about having sex. It becomes about losing their virginity. And whether this guy's a virgin or not, that's what this has become. It's become like bigger than just having sex with you. And now it's I haven't had sex with you for a year, and that's weird. And so now to do it is weird, and to not do it is weird. And he's trapped, and you're trapped, and you're all paralyzed. So I kind of like Rob's idea of a 2-tiered rollout of this conversation. The first tier is the next time you guys hook up, you very casually say, oh, I want to have sex. And if that's weird,
What if his knees are knocking because he's so nervous and
poor
scared?
fella. But if that's weird, just very casually, like, oh, you don't want to get is fucked right now. And if he does anything but just go hell yeah and fuck you, then tier 2 is at a time when you're not hooking up, you sit down and say, the other day, and it's been a year, and we should talk about this. Why do you think we haven't had sex yet? And then after tier 2,
or no, maybe just say I'd like to have sex with you.
Yeah.
You don't have to pose it as a problem.
That's
if you
nice.
say,
I like that.
Why do you think we haven't had sex?
You're right,
Okay.
Natasha. That's good. That's good. So if there's any weirdness after tier 2, then head for the hills.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Good luck, honey.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Okay, roll the dice. Do it Vegas style.
Okay.
Good luck.
You're
Good
welcome.
luck.
Bye. Thanks.
That is.
There are so many guys listening to this podcast right now going, "What's her fucking number?"
I like choking too. That is so bizarre. A year in, you're a sexual freak.
I think you're right though that it's now he probably really does like love her and he's imagined this like really romantic night and all of this stuff, and it's just been built up and now he at a certain point you just have to like, fuck it, let's just fuck in the garage, who cares?
Absolutely. Either that or he's like, there's something deeper going on here,
Yeah.
and she needs to find somebody else.
I would vote for that.
Could be. Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe?
Would you like to start an Etsy with me?
Sure.
You would?
Yeah.
If we started an Etsy together, we would need to send stuff out. But it's very complicated to figure out how to send out all these online orders. It can be tough sending out a lot of orders fast.
That's why you need ShipStation.com. It's the fastest, easiest, and most affordable way to manage and ship your orders. Just a few clicks and you'll be managing your orders, printing out labels, and getting your product to happy customers.
ShipStation helps online sellers of any size get orders out quickly, save money on shipping costs, and keeps customers happy. It's no wonder it's the #1 choice of online sellers. You'll ship more in less time with the best rates available.
No matter where you're selling, if it's Amazon, Etsy, or your own website, ShipStation brings all your orders into one simple interface.
And that's why we are using it when we start our Etsy of crotchless crocheted panties. We call them crotchless. At any rate, go right now to ShipStation and you can try it free for 60 days when you use the offer code HONEYMOON. Offer code HONEYMOON. Make sure your business is ready to meet the demands of delivery culture. Get started at ShipStation.com today. Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe.
Let me ask you a question. Do you like going to the grocery store
No.
in person?
No.
Do you like it more if there's a global health pandemic that is spreading off and at grocery stores?
No, I don't like it.
Would you like it if there was a service that not only delivered your groceries to your door, but also made it possible to shop from over 70 different diets and values like paleo, keto, plant-based, and they would deliver to you the most high-quality, organic, sustainable essentials from groceries, healthy snacks, meat, seafood, clean wines, non-toxic cleansing products, and Bath and Body?
Sounds great.
Well, that's what Thrive Market is. If you become a member, they'll bring all this stuff to your door, and not only that, when you become a member, they provide a free membership to someone in need, a low-income person, a teacher, a veteran, or a first responder.
The savings that you get from your clean, organic products are amazing, but then you can also feel good about helping to support communities in need. In addition to membership matching, Thrive Market has raised over $750,000 to date through their COVID-19 relief fund.
And it's cheaper. You save 25 to 50% off traditional retail prices, and their carbon neutral shipping is free on orders over $49.
We are proud Thrive Market members, and you will be too. Try it risk-free. Go to thrivemarket.com/honeymoon. Join today and you'll get up to $20 in shopping credit toward your first order. That's Thrive, THRIVE, market.com/honeymoon to start your risk-free membership and get up to $20 towards your first order. thrivemarket.com/honeymoon.
Hey, Rob, another thing we do on this podcast is we play the deep, dark secrets of our listeners who have anonymously left them on a hotline. So you want to, let's play a few and we can riff on them.
Great.
Hi, Natasha and Moshe. I am calling for the Secrets Hotline. I wanted to let you know about my threesome experience. It's really embarrassing, but before I had a threesome, I was sleeping with a guy that had a really big dick. And when I got into the threesome moment, I ended up queefing the entire time. And it was really embarrassing. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. But I am now telling you that my threesome experience was entirely queefing. And that's all I remember because it was one of the, I guess, highlights of it. But I was the one keeping it all going, and it was ironic that I was the worst part about it, probably. Thanks.
Wait, is it because the guy's dick was so big?
Guys, I might need to jump off the podcast because I think that was my wife.
It is pretty specific that you couldn't really mix up what was going on. Were you the guy with the big dick or the cuck that was listening?
My dick was so big. Now I guess she's just queefing when she fucks guys with small dicks.
Oh man. Oh, I wonder if that's what it is, Rob. I wonder if that's what it is. Is that the big dick guy went first? Everything was fine. Then the little dick guy jumped in, and it was just like so much air left over that it was just Queef City.
Yeah, that was that voicemail. I want to be my outgoing message on my phone.
She was so like kind of disheartened by the whole thing.
I know.
Like she was sharing it with us. You could tell it's like she thinks of it every like 4 or 5 days or something as like this like blot in her life.
Blot, ironically, is onomatopoeia for what happened during that threesome.
Was it that the guy who was she with two guys and the first guy had a big dick and the second? Okay, or was it that her previous boyfriend had a big dick? It doesn't matter, I guess. We know what happened.
Oh, right. What was she saying? Was the big dick causing it, or was it that she was suggesting her big dick lover had created an error?
I could see the big dick causing it.
Permanently?
No, like while you're fucking two guys.
That's why they say no threesomes within a year of childbirth, because it'll just be Queef City.
That's true. All the hospitals tell you that. As soon as you leave the hospital with your baby, they love to tell you that. Hey, last thing, guys, no threesomes.
Yeah, they say, do you have a car seat? Is it latched down? Great. Also, before you go, no threesomes just for a year. Okay, have fun. Okay,
let's hear another one.
I do love the idea of your biggest sexual fantasy finally coming true and your body just betraying you. It's just like, fuck, no, stop. This is supposed to be hot. All right, let's play it.
So awesome. So wait, I have a question. So just because I don't know the format, do we now address that? Do we solve that problem, or do we just enjoy that?
We just enjoy it, make fun of it.
And you use it as your outgoing message.
Yeah, and you talk to your wife about calling podcasts with your secrets. That's all we do. Let's play another.
Hi. So my secret is that my friend's baby daddy and I hooked up like way before they were a thing. And it's really petty, but she loves to make comments about my weight and everything. But little does she know that her baby daddy's still sending me dick pics and wanting more. All right. That felt good. Thanks. Bye.
Every player in this drama is an asshole.
There's a certain tone of voice in a woman too where you can just tell she like parties and like does shit she's not supposed to.
Absolutely.
I feel like she wanted to go on longer to try to like let those people like in the hopes that they also listen to the podcast so that they would also figure it out, you know, like
She's like, I'm
really vindictive.
I'm a dirty blonde in the Phoenix, Arizona area. I've got a tattoo of a butterfly on my left earlobe. Like, okay, we know who you are, Haley.
I want to know though, Haley, do you her name's not Haley.
No,
I want to know if she responds to her friends' babies' fathers' dick pics.
I would say 100%.
Oh,
yes.
you think she does?
Absolutely. What, she's just passively receiving them pick after pick. This whole friendship circle needs to disband immediately.
Yeah, they're not even friends. I mean, she's making the other woman is making comments about her weight.
She's looking at her baby daddy's dick. Her baby daddy is sending dick pics. This whole thing is this is Shakespearean. If Shakespeare ate paint chips.
By the time this podcast airs, there will have been a picnic somewhere where it escalated to like, oh yeah, you think I'm fat? Does this dick think I'm fat? Look at this dick right here.
And she's like, wait a minute, that dick has a butterfly tattoo as well.
Yeah.
All right, let's play another.
Hey, Natasha and Moshe. I'm in customer service, and my secret is that my job is nothing important. Doesn't involve technology or saving your life. It's not of any importance. So there's no reason for people to be awful to me, yet they still are. When I have a particularly heinous customer who says something terrible unprovoked, I write their phone number down, and then I wait 4 weeks. And then I post an ad on Craigslist for a free car with their phone number as the only contact. I only reserve this for particularly horrible people. I wait 4 weeks so it can't be tied back to my company. And I feel like Arya from Game of Thrones a little bit. This is my hit list, I guess. And I know it won't get anybody to change their attitude or the way they treat other people, but it does cause inconvenience, just like their call caused me inconvenience. So I feel a little better. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Bye.
Man, that explains a lot of phone calls that I'm getting.
I hear that you have a larger than average dick and a free car. Is that right?
I mean, at the point where I'm writing in my diary someone's phone number to call Craigslist, like I can't imagine getting it up to still do that in 4 weeks.
I fucking love this. I'm.
That is awesome. Yeah, I think that's awesome.
I when I was listening to that secret, I was thinking to myself, I know 4 or 5 people who I want to do this to. I've been looking for harm-free forms of revenge for a long time. There's a few people that I want to do it to, and our listeners to this podcast can probably guess at least one of the people I'd like to do it to. And this is a good one. Just an afternoon of nonstop phone calls, people asking you if the free car is still available. I love this.
How long do you think it would take for that? So talk me through that prank. Is it just a day, or do you have to change your phone number?
I don't know, and I don't care. I want them to have that pain.
I hear you.
I like this. I'm going to do this. This is great.
Yeah, I was inspired by that secret. That's a really great one. I can think of other, more evil ways to take that for sure. But she sounds like a very nice person doing like a pretty harmless little prank after getting shit on at her job.
I love this.
I feel like we don't have enough information, but okay, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have enough information. I mean, Rob decided what gender that caller was. I couldn't tell, and I don't care. I'm taking that person's idea, and I'm doing it.
Okay, let's take one more.
Okay, Rob, you up for one more?
Of course.
All right.
Hi, guys. I love your show. So my secret, I've never told anybody, and it's kind of disgusting, but I think it's funny. So when I was 18, I broke up with my first love and immediately got into another relationship. And the new boyfriend turned out to be really abusive. So I couldn't retaliate directly, and I wasn't like strong enough to leave the abusive relationship. So what I would do is I would go and I would have sex with my ex, let him come in me, and then immediately go to the new boyfriend, the abusive one, and we would have sex, but he would always eat me out first. So he basically
oh my God.
would eat my ex's cum, and that was my way of retaliating. So.
Oh my God.
All right, bye.
This woman is she is my hero.
I was inspired by that, guys.
Yeah, that woman is totally my hero.
This is, Natasha, that's your Craigslist ad? That's beautiful. She is a hero because that's risky. You're in a relationship with an abusive man, And the way you take revenge is to have him eat your boyfriend's cum in the hopes that he doesn't notice that you taste a little bit like a man's ejaculate. I mean, God, what if that had backfired? What if?
I mean, she's risking her life to fuck with that guy.
Totally. I mean, the guy, thankfully, the ex must have had a smaller than average dick, because if it had been the big dick guy from the threesome, it would have just been a full-on money shot, and that guy would have known exactly what happened.
Yeah, the abusive guy with the small dick is like, why are you queefing so much? Man, that is incredible. That is the most graphic, like thought out, like exacting revenge I've ever heard for someone that deserves it. Like, I mean, that is really something out of a movie. That's amazing.
Well, it's
really
interesting,
is.
Rob. We've been talking about this. Like, a lot of the secrets are revenge.
A lot of them.
And
yeah.
like, I don't know that I have that streak.
I do, for sure. I also think it would be funny.
Oh.
Do you, Rob?
Oh, yeah. I am big on revenge.
For real?
Well, I mean, I haven't had to in a long time, but can I give you one quick story?
Yes.
You can give us as many as you want.
Okay, when I was in college, you guys know me and you know how pale I am, right? I'm like the palest person in the whole world.
We always say that about you.
I haven't thought of this story in 20 years, and I'm so excited to tell it. When I was in college, I was the palest, and I still am the palest person, but it was before I knew that I couldn't get tan. So one day in college, I decided to lay out like in front of my dorm, like, you know, on a beach towel and like try to get tan. And the guys in my dorm thought it would be funny. This one guy in particular, he got a trash bag and he filled it up with water and he dropped it out of the window from like 3 stories up. And it hit me so hard and like exploded. Like it was a direct hit from like 4 floors up.
Is this
It was
Porky's?
amazing. Yeah. Yes, I went to Porky's University. and so I was furious. I was so mad and so sunburned that I got up and I figured I went and found out who did it. It was this guy on my floor, and I went downtown to this hair place where I got my hair cut, and I said, "Can you guys give me all the hair from today?" And they said, "Sure." So they gave me all of the hair from the day of haircuts. And I went back to my dorm, and I went to like the housing department, and I told them that I had locked myself out of my room, and I gave them like the wrong room number. So they gave me a key to this other kid's room to get into my room. And so I waited till he was gone. So I had the key to his room. I waited till he was gone. And I went in his room and I put hair, like 6 inches of hair, all in his bed, and pulled the sheets up. And I turned the fan on. He had a fan, and so I turned the fan on, and so the hair just blew all over his room. And it was like the best revenge I've ever gotten.
Oh man, that is
Did
beautiful.
you ever hear from him like how it went, or that the rumor that happened to someone and you had to like keep it to yourself?
No, it got out of control. Like he didn't go get into his bed until like that night, and I got a call at like 11 o'clock that night, and I picked up the phone. I go, "Hello," and it was just, "You're dead." And he hung up the phone.
I mean, your mind, Rob. I know that you're a good improviser, but to get a trash bag of water sploshed on you, and to think, okay, I'm going to need 24 hours worth of hair first and foremost. Let me drive to the salon. That's my first stop. It's so good.
What inspired you?
Also, what kind of fucking hair salon gives out bags of hair to kids?
They didn't have any follow-up questions?
Yeah, to shirtless, sunburned kids.
Can I have all the hair from today? Oh, yeah, sure. Marty, we got another kid that wants the hair. Oh, that's amazing.
I love it.
Did he ever take revenge on you?
Well, yeah, it turns out he was, it's kind of a graphic story, but he was fucking my girlfriend, and the next time I went down on her, I was eating his jizz.
Okay, well, the perfect. They say that revenge is a dish best served cold, so that's perfect. On that lady's note, by the way, it would be terrible if it backfired on her, and every time she did that trick, he's just like, I don't know what it is, honey, but every so often, your pussy tastes delicious.
Man.
Oh boy, what a graphic!
Her story is incredible.
Truly a hero. So are you. You're a hero, Rob. What a great story.
I love that. I will always think of the hair story now every time I see you.
I love that.
Oh man,
that was fantastic.
Don't fuck with me, guys. Do not fuck with me.
Rob, we love you. I think you might be one of my top comedic actors. You're so funny in everything you do.
Oh yeah, you are very talented.
Thank you, guys. I'm such a fan of your daughter. Also, I like you guys, okay, but I really like your daughter.
We like
so
your
sweet.
we like your daughter
kids
too.
To play.
I know.
I know. I want them to do gymnastics again.
Right. Our kids were in gymnastics together, and it was about the cutest. It's like, it's not only the cutest thing in the world, but it's about the last thing that will ever return, I feel like. It's just like jumping in errant piles of foam. Just feels like we're
with
not.
Like sweaty other guys.
Yeah, it's just like we're not there yet.
I know. Those poor people, like, I'm sure they're going to go out of business. Like, like, how could you ever... Like, we need a bunch of sweaty kids jumping into a ball pit.
Absolutely. To maintain our 6,000 square foot facility. It just feels like they're doomed.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Yeah. Well, also, I'm curious, how is your child? Like, do you feel like you have to explain anything, or does she think nothing's wrong, nothing's changed?
You know what? We told her, we told her that everyone has a cold right now, and so a lot of places are closed.
You did.
She's like, does everybody still have a cold? And we're like, yeah, everybody's got a cold right now.
Dude, when she
gets... So she just thinks...
This is going to backfire so spectacularly when she's like 18 and is like pathologically terrified of catching a cold, and all of her friends are like, why are you so afraid of colds? Like, they're not that big of a deal. So like, once in a while, they shut down all of society.
I know. It's so hard to like explain to a little kid. It's like, yes, there's a terrifying virus going around that's very easily spread, and I could die from it if I get it. No. And so could you.
Yeah.
Good night.
It's so scary. That's why I don't even try with our kid. I just tell her about police brutality, and like I just focus on that.
It's so much easier.
Easier to understand.
So much easier.
Well, thank you, Rob, so much, and we hope to see you soon. And thank you for being on our podcast.
Yeah, you were
spending
awesome.
Time talking.
Thanks so much, guys, for having me. I really appreciate it. It's such a good time to hang out with you guys, and I miss seeing you guys.
Same here. We had so much fun in Telluride too. I just want to hang out again.
I know.
Well, we'll do it someday soon.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Bye, Rob. That was a great ep. We went a lot of different places. We got to hang with a friend. We got to have some laughs. And you know what I figured out at the end? Right, especially when I heard that secret about the other guy's jizz. You know what I thought to myself?
What?
I love you.
Oh, I love you too. I wouldn't do that to you either.
Thank you.